श्रीभगवानुवाच इमौ विवस्वते योगं प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम् विवस्वान्मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्. In this verse, Krishna explains the timeless nature of the spiritual wisdom he is teaching. He reveals that this knowledge, called yoga, was passed down from divine beings to humans over many generations. It highlights the importance of a continuous tradition and the preservation of knowledge through teachers and disciples. This shloka shows that spiritual wisdom is eternal and not confined to any one time or place. एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप. Krishna tells Arjuna that this sacred wisdom was preserved through a lineage of wise kings who governed with spiritual insight. However, as time passed, this knowledge was forgotten and lost due to the changing world. Krishna's message here highlights the fragility of spiritual traditions and the need to revive and protect timeless wisdom. It also sets the stage for Arjuna to understand why Krishna is now re-establishing this knowledge. Saivayam maya tedya yogah proktah puratanah bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hetaduttamam. Krishna tells Arjuna that he is teaching him the same ancient knowledge that was passed down through generations. Arjuna is special because he is both a close friend and a devoted follower of Krishna. That is why Krishna is sharing this secret with him. This verse shows how special the bond between a teacher and a student is. Krishna calls this knowledge a supreme secret because it is very precious and not shared with everyone. Only those who are devoted like Arjuna can truly understand it. This shloka emphasizes the importance of trust and devotion in learning spiritual wisdom. Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavato janma parai janma vivasvatah kathametad vijaniyan tvamadau proktavaniti. Arjuna is confused here. He knows that Krishna, his friend, was born in this world not long ago. But Krishna says he taught this ancient knowledge to the sun god who lived long before. Arjuna wonders, how is that possible? He is trying to understand how Krishna, who seems like a regular person, could have existed so long ago to teach the sun god. This verse shows Arjuna's curiosity and willingness to learn. It also highlights how Krishna's divine nature is mysterious, something beyond regular human understanding. Arjuna's question opens the door for Krishna to explain his divine form and eternal presence. Shri Bhagavan uvacha bahuni me tvatitani janmani tava charjuna tanyaham veda sarvani na tvai vedha parantapa. Krishna tells Arjuna that both of them have had many lives in the past. The difference is that Krishna remembers all of his past lives while Arjuna does not. Krishna explains that he has the power to know everything that has happened, but ordinary people like Arjuna forget their previous lives. This shloka reveals Krishna's divine nature. Unlike humans who are bound by forgetfulness, Krishna is eternal and all-knowing. It also helps Arjuna understand that Krishna is not just his friend, he is the supreme being who exists beyond time. This verse is important because it shows the difference between humans and God. Ajopi sanna vyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavamyatma mayaya. Krishna explains that even though he is never born and never ages like humans, he still chooses to appear in the world. As the Lord of all living beings, he has control over everything, but he uses his divine power to take a form when necessary. This means that Krishna's birth is not like a normal human birth. He comes into the world out of his own will, not because he has to. This shloka teaches us that God, though eternal and beyond time, can come to earth whenever there is a need to guide people. It shows Krishna's love and care for the world as he comes down to help when things go wrong. His divine nature allows him to do things that are beyond human understanding. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Krishna tells Arjuna that whenever good behavior starts to fade and bad behavior increases in the world, he comes to earth. This means that whenever people forget what is right and wrong, and when society is in trouble, Krishna takes a form to help restore balance. This verse shows how God always cares for the world and steps in whenever things are going wrong. Krishna's appearance is not random, but happens when it's most needed. It teaches us that the divine is always watching over us and will come to protect righteousness and guide people back to the right path. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna explains that he comes to earth for three main reasons: to protect good people, to destroy evildoers, and to restore dharma. He does this not just once, but in every age whenever it is needed. This verse shows Krishna's promise to the world. He assures us that whenever good people are in trouble and bad people are causing harm, he will come to set things right. It teaches us that God will always protect those who follow the right path and ensure that justice is restored. This shloka gives hope that even in difficult times, divine help will come. Janma karma cha me divyam evayyu veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti saurjuna. Krishna tells Arjuna that his birth and actions are divine and not like those of regular humans. If someone understands the truth about Krishna's divine nature, they will be freed from the cycle of birth and death. After leaving their body, they will not be reborn but will come to Krishna and reach him. This shloka teaches us that understanding Krishna's divine nature can lead to liberation. By realizing that Krishna's actions are beyond human limitations, one can escape the endless cycle of life and death. This verse gives hope that true knowledge of God can bring eternal peace and freedom from all suffering. Vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mamupashritaah bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavamagataah. Krishna tells Arjuna that many people, by letting go of attachment, fear and anger and focusing completely on him, have reached a divine state. These people purified themselves through the practice of wisdom and discipline, and by doing so, they have become closer to Krishna. This verse shows that anyone can attain a higher divine state by giving up negative emotions and practicing knowledge with devotion. It teaches us that by following the path of wisdom and surrendering to Krishna, we can overcome the struggles of life and become pure, eventually reaching God. It gives hope that liberation is possible for all who are dedicated.